You're 24 years old. You just finished sonar school at the Soviet Naval Academy in Leningrad, top of your class. You can identify an American destroyer's propeller from 8 kilometers away with your eyes closed. The Navy puts you on a fast track. They give you a posting nobody else is getting, a Foxtrot-class diesel submarine called B-59. You don't know where it's going. Nobody tells you. You just show up to the base on the Kola Peninsula, salute the captain, and step into a steel tube that's about to leave the Arctic Circle and disappear for 4 months. It's October 1st, 1962. You don't know it yet, but you're about to be inside the most dangerous hour in human history. The submarine is 91 meters long. It holds 79 men. There aren't enough bunks for everyone, so 2 men share each bed, switching every 8 hours. The toilet breaks on day 3. The shower works once a week if you're lucky. Everyone smells like diesel and sweat and rust. You also don't know what's in the forward torpedo room. The senior officers walk past that compartment with a particular kind of silence in their faces. You're not allowed in. The door is sealed. Then, one night, a junior officer who's had too much vodka tells you what's behind it. A torpedo with a nuclear warhead, 10 kilotons, slightly smaller than the bomb that destroyed Hiroshima. He laughs. You don't. The orders are simple. Sail to Cuba. Wait. If war breaks out, you'll be in position to strike American naval forces in the Caribbean. That's it. That's the mission. Wait. You wait for 21 days. October 22nd, 1962. You surface to charge the batteries. The radio operator picks up an American broadcast. President John F. Kennedy is on television. He's telling the American people that the Soviet Union has placed nuclear missiles in Cuba. He's announcing a naval blockade. You are sitting in international waters near the coast of Florida with a nuclear torpedo on board, and no instructions from Moscow. The captain orders radio silence. He orders you back under. You disappear. For the next 4 days, you do not see the sun. The temperature inside the submarine is 50 degrees Celsius. In the engine room, it's 60. That's 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The air conditioning failed on day 2. The CO2 level is at 2.5%. Anything over 1.5% causes confusion, headaches, vomiting. One of the duty officers faints at his station, then another, then a third. Nobody is sleeping. Your skin breaks out in hives. The crew is rationed to 2 cups of water a day, and the water tastes like the diesel tank it's stored next to. You watch the captain pace the corridor. His name is Valentin Savitsky. He hasn't slept in 96 hours. The radio operator next to you, a man named Andreev, is writing letters to his wife in a small notebook between watches. You read them over his shoulder because there's nowhere else to look. The latest one says, "The commander is becoming paranoid. He yells at everyone. He is scared of his own shadow." October 27th, 1962, 4 p.m. local time. You hear it first. A propeller above you. Mechanical, deliberate, hunting. An American destroyer has found you. You report it to the captain. He stares at you for a long second, then walks to the periscope. He doesn't say a word. 90 seconds later, the first depth charge hits. It's not loud the way you expected. It's a hammer struck against the hull, somewhere above and behind you. The entire submarine shudders once, and then goes still. You wait for the second one. It comes. You don't know it, but the Americans are not trying to kill you. They're dropping practice depth charges, explosives designed to signal you to surface, not destroy you. The U.S. Navy sent a message through diplomatic channels announcing this. The message never reached Soviet command. It never reached you. You think you're being attacked. The depth charges continue for 2 hours, then 3, then 4. The crew is fainting. The CO2 is killing them. The captain is screaming at the helmsman. The destroyers are circling above, not 1, not 2, 11. Plus an aircraft carrier called the USS Randolph. Captain Savitsky makes a decision. He walks to the political officer, a man named Ivan Maslenikov. He says something quietly. Maslenikov nods. Then Savitsky turns to the entire control room and says it loud enough for the whole compartment to hear. Maybe the war has already started up there, and we are sitting here turning somersaults. We will sink them all. We will not become the shame of the fleet. He orders the nuclear torpedo armed. 10 kilotons. If detonated at depth, it will vaporize the USS Randolph, the 11 destroyers, every aircraft, and every sailor inside that battle group within 8 seconds. The American response is automatic. NATO doctrine. Massive nuclear retaliation against the Soviet Union. The Soviet response is automatic. The same doctrine. Massive retaliation against the United States. Estimated dead in the first hour of nuclear war, approximately 100 million people. By the end of the week, the number is closer to 500 million. The captain has ordered the torpedo armed. There is a problem. Standard Soviet protocol, a nuclear torpedo launch requires 2 officers, the captain and the political officer. 2-man rule. Both have agreed. But B-59 is different. B-59 is the lead boat of the entire submarine flotilla, and the flotilla commander, by chance, by sheer accident, happens to be on board this submarine. A 3rd man. His name is Vasili Arkhipov. He is 34 years old. 1 year earlier, he was on a different submarine called K-19. The reactor failed. The cooling system broke. The crew was about to die from radiation poisoning. Arkhipov volunteered to enter the reactor compartment to fix it. He absorbed lethal doses of radiation. He survived. The submariners of the Soviet fleet speak about him in a particular tone of voice. The tone men use when they are talking about someone who has already been somewhere worse than where they currently are. The captain has agreed. The political officer has agreed. Arkhipov has not. The argument happens in the control compartment, behind a sealed bulkhead. You can't see it. You can only hear it through the steel Savitsky is yelling. Arkhipov is not. You catch fragments through the bulkhead. We do not know that the war has started. The Americans are signaling, not attacking. If we fire, we cannot unfire. Savitsky calls him a coward, says he is hiding under his desk while the enemy attacks, says history will remember him as the man who let the Soviet Navy be humiliated. Arkhipov does not raise his voice. He just says no. The argument lasts between 1 and 2 hours. You have no way to mark time. The depth charges continue. 2 more men faint in the corridor outside your station. The captain's voice gets hoarse from yelling. Arkhipov's voice does not change. You sit at the sonar station with your headphones half on. You don't move. You barely breathe. What you don't know, what nobody on this submarine knows, is that the entire 20th century is being decided by an argument between 2 men, 10 feet from where you are sitting. The order to arm the torpedo is quietly withdrawn. You don't hear it happen. You only know because, at some point, the captain walks past your station and his face has changed. A new order is given. Surface. The submarine rises. When the hatches open, the air that pours in is hot and salty and tastes of diesel and the open sky. It is the first real air you have breathed in 4 days. You sit at your sonar station. You weep silently. You don't want anyone to see. Above you, 11 American destroyers are waiting in a circle, searchlights white and patient on the water. A photographer on one of the destroyers takes a photograph of B-59 surfacing in the Caribbean dusk. That photograph is in the U.S. National Archives. You can look at it right now. The Americans don't know what almost happened. They will not know for 40 years. You return to the Kola Peninsula in December. The Soviet Navy does not celebrate this mission. The men of B-59 are quietly told they failed because they were detected, because they surfaced, because they were forced to abort. Arkhipov receives no medal. He returns to his career. He becomes a vice admiral. He never speaks publicly about what happened on B-59. He dies of cancer in 1998. The cancer is linked to the radiation he absorbed on the K-19 37 years earlier. His wife outlives him. She is the one who tells the story. In 2002, at a conference in Havana on the 40th anniversary of the Cuban Missile Crisis, a Soviet officer named Vadim Orlov stands up and tells the room what really happened on B-59. In the audience is Robert McNamara, who was U.S. Secretary of Defense during the crisis. McNamara has spent his entire life thinking he understood how close the world came to nuclear war in October 1962. He listens. When Orlov finishes, McNamara is silent for a long time. Then he says, "We came very close to nuclear war, closer than anyone knew." That is the moment a journalist first uses the phrase, "the man who saved the world." It refers to Vasili Arkhipov, the man who said no. You are still alive when this happens. You are old. You are sitting in your kitchen in some small Russian town drinking tea when you see his name on the news. You don't say anything to anyone. You don't tell your wife. You don't tell your children. You never have. Because some things, once you have lived inside them, you do not need other people to know. You only need to know they happened. And that for 1 hour, in one steel room, in one corner of an ocean that does not remember anything, a man said no, and the world that has never heard his name went on existing.